Okay, people. So I really enjoy being surprised. And I was extremely surprised by language lessons, right? So this is the new film from Natalie Morales. She directs and she also co writes with Mark Duplass. Um, the film is produced by Mel Eslin, executive produced by Morales, Mark and Jay Duplass, and it's co-produced by Ashley Edward and Will Doest. Gabby Moreno handles the music, Jeremy Mackey cinematography, Aleska Ferreira edits the film, Tyler Romery handles production management. Um, yeah, effects are Chad McLaren. And the film stars, right? Mark Duplass is Adam. Natalie Morales is his Spanish teacher, Cariño. Um, Deshaun Terry is Will, Adam's partner, husband. And Christine Quesada is Karina's cousin. So the gist of the film is this: when Adam's husband surprises him with weekly Spanish lessons, he's unsure about where or how this new element will fit into his already structured life. But when tragedy strikes, his Spanish teacher, Carino, becomes a lifeline he didn't know he needed. Adam develops an unexpected and complicated emotional bond with Carino. But do you really know someone just because you've experienced a traumatic moment with them? So, yeah, I mean, Mark Duplass was a huge reason I checked this out, right? Because man, I really enjoyed like Jeff Who Lives at Home, you know what I mean? Blue Jay, right? Paddleton, great films. You know, it's like him and Jay really do work on some great stuff. And it's stuff like it's not flashy, but it always seems to have this heart about it. Right. And then watching it, I realized I know Morales, right? She was in Santa Clarita Diet, right? Um, the newsroom and Parks and Rec. Those are the things I know her from. So yeah, I was happy to check this out. And then, as this film goes out, I will say when it first started, I worried, right? Because it's over Zoom. You know what I mean? That's how this kind of transpires. And so, oh man, it's like shit. Okay, it's one of them COVID films. How is this gonna play out? You know what I mean? Is this gonna be any good? Ah, it's so frustrating with these things. But it wasn't COVID wasn't mentioned. It wasn't about that, right? The gist was this interesting hook of the Spanish lessons, you know? And I've looked at, Spanish lessons online. It's convenient. You know what I mean? Like it didn't work out. I can't see the fucking screen. So it was a problem. But you know what I mean? It's a concept that wasn't like, that's stupid, man. No. So it was something like, oh shit. Yeah, interesting. How is it going to play for like 90 minutes? You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna be able to roll with this for this period of time? But you really do. It's it's got so much heart, right? You're watching this film and like this tragedy happens early, which is kind of like, I mean, you're not committed to this, right? So it's just technically, you know what I mean? People could be like, you know what? Here's a refund. I'm out. I'm done. Bye. But it's this coping mechanism. And so you feel the rawness, right? You feel the rawness of the loss, right? The way that is portrayed to you, you'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And then you really do believe, right? Cariño, when she's like, oh, I'm here for you. I want, make sure that, you know what I mean? If you want to talk or like, how can I help? Then just even moments where she's just like, fuck, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, like all of that. It plays so real, you know, which there's times with these things, it's hard to believe these scenarios, right? It's hard to believe these sorts of interactions, right? There's a part in the film where one of the characters is drunk. And man, a lot of times when people are drunk or high, you just watch it and it's just like, yeah, that's drunk, high. You don't do that shit, right? That's not how you are. You know, because it's like, oh my god, I'm so drunk, or I'm high, ha ha ha, I'm hungry. Ooh, yeah, and it's just like, oh man, this feels so fucking stupid. But with this moment in the film, you'll be like, oh shit, right? It's getting too close to the screen. Right, it's just losing track of what you were saying, getting like, oh no, was that okay, could I say that, and just saying things that are like a little inappropriate, but you just don't realize because you're messed up, right? So it was this great moment. And then the next day where it's all kind of deadpan, you know what I mean? Trying to yeah, act like, that didn't happen. But before that, we get these little videos about, trying to record the apology message and just all of it. Just what, and even the bit where it's just like, I think, what am I doing? I don't owe you an explanation. Hey, it's just like, yo, right? And then, you know, you get this moment where um oh my god. My mind Adam. Yeah, mine just went blank for a second there, peoples. But when Adam is just like, look, I know what you're doing, and I don't care. Right? I'm still here. It's all believable. It's all great. Just the way, with the learning and the trying to pull away, just all of that stuff, it just connects, right? And there's these moments where you're just like, oh no, just like the whole death thing. You're just like, oh, it just hits you. It hits you. There's this other health related thing later in the film that when it just gets said, you're just like, no, oh, fuck. Yo, that's some heavy shit. Then you forget this is a film, right? These aren't real people, but it sucks you in so much that you are with them throughout. You're with them throughout, right? So even though we're watching two people talk to a screen, essentially, this works. It works. It gives you the humanity. It gives you the depth of these people, right? The character, the real intimate interactions. It is a great little film. A great little film, people. You know what I mean? As I say, if you are a fan of like Duplass's stuff. You know what I mean? If you like what he does, yeah, you're gonna like this, right? If you like Morales in stuff like Santa Clarita, right? If you enjoyed her in the newsroom, if you enjoyed her in Parks and Rec, but just all the other stuff, like she did White Collar, she did 90210, Trophy Wife, Girls, The Grinder, you know what I mean? Room 104. If you've enjoyed any of this stuff, you yeah, you're gonna love. Oh man, you're really going to love language lessons. It is, oh man, it's just like what they were able to do in this little indie film, right? In this little indie film with all this richness, this character development, right? This heart. There's bigger productions that do not convince you of this, right? Just do not convince you of this. So, yo, people, if you want a film that you can really connect with, I highly recommend Language Lessons. I really do. And the end, even though, right, I knew what was going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen at the very end. It still, oh my gosh, it still hits you. It still hits you, and you're just like, oh my God, that's so good. It's so good. So yeah, people, watch it. Um, you know, the other big thing about this, the angles, right? It was just all of these angles that we get. Because when you're recording on Zoom, or doing something like this right now, right? There's times, if you have to lean close and you're looking at something, or you stand up and people see up your nose. It's like all of that was there, right? Dodgy sound, that was there. Screen freezing, it was there. So you actually got this real honest kind of experience of this Zoom relationship, this Zoom interaction. And a lot of times people want to make these things look way too clean, right? Because look, we know what this is, right? We've done this so many times on whatever platform. You mean Zoom, StreamYard, Teams, the bespoke ones. You know what I mean? The sound cuts out, the picture free, like you just drop off. We all know this. So when you watch these things and it's way too clean, it's just like, come on now, what are we doing? Like no one's had that connection before, right? So it was just that attention to detail. You know what I mean? Just that attention to detail just makes me want to definitely watch what Morales does next, as a director. And look, we know Duplass is great. His work is superb. But yeah, whatever they write next, I'm all about. So yeah, love languages. Sorry, language lessons. Yeah, I don't know what love language is. Language lessons. It's available now, finally, on Prime Video UK. It's in the States, Apple, iTunes, all of that jazz. People, go check it. You will not be disappointed.